So, we want to talk about the purpose of actually implementing this week 1 strategy, the AM to PM modes of eating. We didn't talk a lot about fats, and we won't talk that much about fats. The most important thing I want you to get out of this is carbohydrates versus protein. We do need to do a little research. I'll try to give you guys some information, some links, but you do need to do some research on your own. What are the good fats? What are the bad fats? And how do I get more of the good stuff in me? And how do I keep from getting a lot of that bad junk, that fast food junk in my body out of my diet? So let's talk a little bit more about the purpose of it all. What you want to think about is, if my body could ask for something, what would it be asking for at this time of the day? Now, I've seen that a lot of people do not eat breakfast. Bad idea. Your body wants energy. It needs energy. It just went through 7, 6, 8, 9 hours of repairing and rebuilding throughout the evening. It burns some energy. You've got to have an influx of energy into your body as you start your day. It sets the tone for everything. So we need to talk about the good kind of carbohydrates and the bad kind of carbohydrates, and we're going to explore that deeply in the weeks to come. But I'm going to try and give you guys at least a little bit of a list of some good stuff versus bad stuff. There is a big difference. You don't want to have donuts in the morning. Yes, it's a carbohydrate. Yes, it will give you a good spike of energy, but it's just going to wreak havoc to your system overall in the end. So we need to look at what are some clean, high-quality carbohydrates that we enjoy, our taste buds will be happy with, and we can get a nice spike of energy that won't drop half hour afterwards, but it'll maintain us over the next couple hours so we can be productive and we can enjoy our lives. Now, that's how we start the morning. We don't just have to start with carbohydrates, but we need to be in that carbohydrate mode, that mindset of what are the good kind and am I getting enough in? All right. Now, as we go from AM to PM, we kind of transition. We can still have proteins and fats in the morning, but the bulk of what our body needs is just straight energy to get us going. So that's what we're going to give it. Now, as we transition over into PM mode, again, as I talked about in the previous video, we don't need a good influx of energy. That would be ridiculous. Okay? I've done it for years. I'm sure most of you have done it for years, but we got to break that habit. So we're going to transition into putting high quality, clean proteins in our body as we get ready to go to sleep, so our body has exactly what it needs to rebuild muscle, repair organs, skin, etc. So I'm going to try and give you a list or some ideas or some references, resources to what are good, clean, high quality proteins. You probably know what those are. So some of you don't, but I'm going to give you that information. For those of you that do, again, this week is simple. Just focus on the AM to PM modes of eating. Good, clean, high-quality carbohydrates in the morning. We transition over to good, clean, high-quality proteins in the evening. We can still have carbohydrates, and we can still have fats in the evening. But the bulk of our intake, our food intake, has got to be protein, building and repair foods. All right? So we're going to talk a little bit more in the next video about practice. Some easy steps, baby steps, all the way up to let's get crazy with it and really radically change what we're doing, for those of you that are up for it. But that is the purpose of the AM to PM modes of eating.